Yeah. Also, they said something about the rolling.
Come on up. Take a step forward. There we go. All right, go for it.
Alright, I'm doing my report in a certain way. I'm telling you about India and what they're doing in Africa. And I'm gonna break it up into different sections, and at the end, I'm gonna tell you why it all matters. Alright. The Indian economic presence in Africa. It has recently grown from 3.39 million in 2000 to 53 billion in 2010. Okay. Mauritius, the biggest investor, was around 49 billion routed through to India. An Indian Icon, an Indian railway company, got a 31 million contract to build rail lines through Ethiopia and other countries nearby, playing catch up with China. Okay, so basically, India has been in China for come to Africa for a while, but it's playing catch up with China still. But India is doing totally different new things from China in different ways. Aid. Basically, India does different type of aid in Africa. China and other countries do certain type of aid in Africa where it's more political and charity, like they're giving to UNICEF and they're giving to those countries. India is instead giving money to the African people more and giving them loans. For example, instead of giving them money through UNICEF, they have financed Ethiopian sugar production, agricultural development in Botswana, and water purification in Guyana. Alright, so basically India is trying hard. It's important because India is not just giving them money, they're helping them develop as well. India aid, unlike China aid, gives the aid to the people, not the government, so the government can't squander it. Because a lot of times, money is given to these charities and it's squandered, and it's the money doesn't really get anything done unless it just buys food for the people. In this way, India is giving money so their economies can grow, so that eventually they can come out of poverty themselves, Africa. Alright. They're making training, India's also been making training centers around Africa, which is a great thing, giving them new job opportunities, and there's even been talk about universities. There's going to be an online university that India is going to give scholarship to African students, and also there's going to be universities. The history of India in Africa. About 80% of Indians around the world, not from India, live in Africa. For example, the international business teacher, he is Indian himself, but he lives in Kenya. There's about over 100,000 Kenyans living in the capital city of Indians living in the capital city of Kenya. This is thanks in part to the British Empire, how they have been brought to build railways and different things. Alright, political. India says they want to make a footprint in Africa. Alright, the Prime Minister has been quoted saying, Africa is open for business, let's get over there. Alright? Goals of India. India, really its goals, it has been suggested that India will pass the US and China by 2042. Is this possible? But it's suggested. Okay, and also it has forecasted a 8.4% growth until 2020 in Africa. Also, even bigger global player. India wants to eventually become an even bigger global player in Africa. In Africa and in the world, it wants to become permanent member of the Security Council, which is kind of like why this is important. Okay, there's no more north-south between Africa. No more. Africa is only really trading with developed countries such as Europe and America. Now China and India are trading with them too, so they're all part of what's going to help the African economies raise up. India is rising, which is a poor economy. It shows that even though India is a developing nation, it doesn't just trade with rich nations or its neighbors. It also trades with Africa, which is a faraway continent. All right, and so that really shows a change in the economics of the world. Also, India has done a great thing by helping developed countries, and also it's a symbol of how India is growing into a mass, one of the biggest countries and one of the most powerful countries in the world, by how it can even be in Africa, even though that's far away and it's still a developing country itself. India, it has tons of embassies now, tons of consulates all over Africa. It's trying to make its way into a big player in the African market, which shows that India is eventually going to become a big player in